Are you listening carefully? Then I'll begin. Once upon a time, a man stepped onto a boat filled with promise of a brighter and gilded future. A boat from Barbados to Blighty. Fast forward a few years, and this man ends up in Hampton and ends up having my father with my grandmother. My father lived next door to a girl who came from palaces, from Hampton Court, of old English blood. They begat a boy, my brother, and then, a few years later, I came screaming into the world, ready for a cup of tea and a nice piece of cake, because it was 11 o'clock. I am a child of the 70s and 80s. I'm the result of Thatcher Britain, of policies. I am of mixed heritage and like to think I have the best of all. Today is 70 years of the windrush generation. I keep wanting to say celebration because it has to be a celebration, because I wouldn't be here, my next door neighbour wouldn't be here, and the guys that I'm going to join later on at 492 Corner Club, the antithesis to the Archers, are most definitely of that generation and are still affected by being of that generation. The promises weren't true, were they, really? We promised you equality, we promised you a brighter future, and what has happened is the increasing growth of inequality. Labels. For a few years now, I've been finding it difficult to get work. I'm an actor. I'm a well-trained actor. I've probably picked up some bad habits, but fortunately I'm part of a dramatic improvisation group called Three Worlds, and I tell you one thing, they certainly beat the habits out of you. It's the most engaging thing that I've probably done since really being at drama school. So thanks very much to Tony and Andy, and I hope to be able to share more of Three Worlds as I journey on through the washing up and reflect on where I'm going, how I'm going to be an improviser. So to the windrush generation, I salute you. I salute your journey, and I salute your ongoing fight. And I think Grenfell might well be a perfect example of the fight that still needs to happen and to continue to happen. We can't let the institutions and we can't let these businesses get away with treating people as commodity. It seems to be profit over population, and for me, I'd rather have population over profit, because when the sun shines, Blighty is a beautiful country. It's got opportunity to grow your own food. It's got opportunities to be sustainable. Yeah, I think we sit on interesting times, heralding times. My next door neighbour is of the windrush generation. She came over with her expertise. She ended up being matron of midwifery, so no doubt there's a lot of people in southwest London that was helped into the world by her. And one day I was kind of feeling very stressed about Brexit and how it could well affect me, and it sounded me these divisions that we have and these differences. And she just turned to me and said, "Don't worry, Alice. Every 50 years something happens. It's cyclic. Behaviour is cyclic. Every 50 years something happens. And then the big thinkers come together in the world and they make it right." So, yeah. Come on, big thinkers, make it right. I don't think we have the right big thinkers at the moment. I don't think Donald Trump is a very big thinker. I'm not sure Theresa May is. I'm sorry, I've never really met Theresa May. All I ever hear is apologies and backlashes. I don't think, actually, many of these people that are supposed to be representing us are big thinkers. Yes, they might have certificates in academia and might be able to hold facts to justify their slant and their bigotry and their misunderstandings about their own population that they're supposed to be working for and serving for. I believe in our children. I believe in our society. We're still paying for the effects of Thatcher's Britain. I am Thatcher's child. And I suppose at one point you've got to make a choice. You've got to make a choice that you evaluate what you stand for and what you want in life. Do you want this great unevenness between people's income? Do you really deserve to be getting $250,000 to go in a meeting when a worker is getting £7.50 and doing the grunting? We're not necessarily asking for the same wage, we're just asking for a bigger bite. So, I'm going to make a rhubarb cake. I've got lots of rhubarb in the garden. It's the only thing I seem to be able to grow. My mother, she puts things in the garden and it grows, it comes to life, and that's it. We can herald the fruit and eat it. Me, it just kind of shrivels up and dies. But I'll keep trying. Maybe I'll get kind of the right ingredients one day and I'll be able to grow enough onions to get me through the winter. Or maybe I'll sell off some of my onions. But for today, I am going to make most of the fruit. I'm going to make a rhubarb cake in celebration of 70 years of the windrush generation. And what a generation there are. The children are bright. The future is bright. They just got to make a few more choices. And I suppose one of those choices for me, funnily enough, is to use less social media and just work a little bit harder, travel a little bit more. Oh, don't get me on travel. I don't get it. So 30 years ago, I used to make a journey, maybe even like 28 years ago. I used to make a journey to my father. My father at the time lived in Vauxhall, Kennington. And I used to get the train, the very same train I've got for a long time, the Shepperton line. It's there for Shepperton Studios. That's, what I should get employed and just jump on the train and get to work really easily, but that's not happened yet. But, so I've been getting that line for a very long time. And now I get it, and I've never seen it so busy. Yet I'm paying more. Why should I be paying more when sometimes I don't even get a seat? That's privatisation for you. That's greed. That's corporations. That's the Panama Papers. That's what's happening with the EU this year. That's why we're leaving Brexit. Because the EU are coming for all those offshore funds. And vast, vast fortunes are going from this country, from our services, into bank accounts that are having nice holidays in Barbados. Go figure. And on that, I'm going to say goodbye. And I hope to see you again as Alice goes down the plug hole. Yeah. Bye.